Hello everyone, it's Charlton, and I just wanted to continue to talk about Mollie TIbbetts, the missing Iowa college student who was last seen jogging, and actually that's who was on Good Morning at GMA this morning. Was the person who last seen her, possibly. And I'm going to play a little bit of that, even though I'm not going to focus on that too much. And I just want to give some of my own random thoughts. Some of my thoughts that I've had for a while, and without getting too specific, just kind of put them out there at this stage, and obviously, we all just would like to see this girl come home for sure, and hope she's still okay, and I hope the father's right, that she's just there, she's just being held against her will. Somebody that knows her somehow, just got the wrong idea, or this just got started somehow and completely snowballed out of control, and now they don't know how to get out from under it. This is kind of the father's belief. I believe that that's a possibility, a distinct possibility. I'm not absolutely. I go back and forth. I do go back in terms of. It's interesting. One of the things they talked to the police chief of Des Moines in this article here, and he was explaining that missing persons cases are some of the most difficult cases to solve. And partly because a lot of times it involves a stranger that has no connection to the person who went missing, and because of that, it opens it up to so many possibilities. So let me play this guy a couple little clips of him, and kind of go from there. And I'm doing this sort of rough shot, but a lot of it I have it in my head. I've been thinking about this so much. And even when I'm doing other videos, I'm still constantly thinking about this and always looking for new developments. So let me just...
July 18th. She jogged down the street, up the hill, and it's just nothing of it until I heard somebody was missing, and then it really hit me, and it's like I haven't seen that runner since then.
But Riley says he was questioned by investigators, who he says also conducted a thorough search of his home.
They were really polite and didn't assume, I don't think, and they just did their walk through and out in less than 10-15 minutes. So.
The three...
Okay, so there's that, and I have a thought on that. It has, it's just the whole concept, and I'll bring that up in a second. So... and I've always been trying to locate the actual house, the boyfriend's house. Not that I'm dying to know, and I wasn't able to, but it's a small town, and sometimes that just gives you bearings and helps you think about it better. But I wasn't able to, and they give the location of his address, not his exact address, but the street he lives on, the man who just spoke there, the last witness. So the brother of the boyfriend, and this is fairly new, and Fox News spoke to him yesterday. I don't know if yesterday afternoon, at some point yesterday, and he was explaining that Mollie would have done something, and that there was no sign of a struggle at the house, so it says Blake Jack, Dalton Jack's brother, who I think it's his home, and his fiance and the boyfriend all live at the home together. The brother of Mollie TIbbetts' boyfriend told Fox News exclusively on Wednesday that there were no signs of struggle at the boyfriend's Brooklyn, Iowa home one day after she vanished. She's small, but she would have done something, he said. TIbbetts, 20, went missing July 18th from the town. But he also continues, hold on a sec. TIbbetts' boyfriend, Dalton Jack, has received a Snapchat message. The morning after she disappeared, the TIbbetts' family reported her missing after she didn't show up for her job at a daycare center in a nearby town. That would be Grinnell. It was Grinnell Medical Center, the day camp that's part of that medical center hospital. Blake Jack, 23, told Fox News that it is impossible to know if she ever returned to the home after the run. Investigators and scent dogs were at the property a bunch of times, and her phone and Fitbit were missing. He described the town of 1400 as a place where residents don't lock their doors. If something happened while on a run, people like you see right now, our neighbors, are outside and would have heard something. and all these things I'm in total agreement with, you know, and I mean it's fairly just logical and stuff, and this is why it's such a mystery of how she just vanished. So Amy Houghton said she believed Tibbetts went somewhere with someone she knew. I don't know who that is. Amy Houghton. There was no kicking of anything. There was no obvious sign of struggle, she said. Big Boulder, Des Moines, longtime police chief told the Des Moines Register that missing persons cases are usually among the most difficult to solve in law enforcement. He said cases are even more challenging when the suspect is a stranger. I don't know who that Amy Houghton is. You know, I don't know if that's the fiance. It very well may be. And so there's no connection between the person and the stranger. In personal crimes, the subject is connected to the victim. This is the police chief of Des Moines basically explaining how difficult it is to solve missing persons cases. So, but what I wanted, one of the things, and this is the fact that he says that Blake Jack, and I believe the boyfriend's brother had nothing to do with this, and I've kind of believed that for most of the time, almost all the time. Especially when I seen the boyfriend on camera, in my opinion, I immediately thought he has nothing to do with this. So, but he's also I think he probably has a rock solid alibi, and I just don't think he does have anything to do with it. But Blake Jack said investigators and scent dogs were at the property a bunch of times and her phone and Fitbit were missing. It's interesting how those are grouped right there. I actually have had this belief. I've had this belief for a long time that maybe somebody, either before taking her to wherever they were going to take her, went out to that hog farm because they have a knowledge of hunting or just a knowledge of life on a farm, you know, and they understand tracking, you know, and they brought her out there to basically so that the scent would go cold, and brought her out to the hog farm, you know, actually to the farm, you know, where it would make it very difficult from that point on to track where she went to the next stage. I mean, I have no knowledge of these things, you know, of hunting, tracking, and stuff like that. But that is what came into my head. It's almost like in Cool Hand Luke when he's running from the dogs, you know, who he eventually outruns and the dogs die from exhaustion. But he goes to the farm and he sprinkles pepper, you know, and he's doing all these things. He jumps in the water, then gets out of the water and stuff. But that's just the thought I had. And I also thought, same thing, that somebody brought the phone or the Fitbit or both out there and shut them off in that location so that would be the last location it showed up on her, you know. Same thing with the shirt, you know, that literally they just chucked the shirt, you know, in that same area to basically throw off investigators, you know. And somebody either went back to the house after they abducted her, or she went with them willingly during the jog, you know. That's what would be my guess. She got into a car of somebody she knew. This is going on the somebody she knew theory. And then they went back to the house, and they did some of the things I just said, and maybe got a red shirt, or maybe they have a red shirt themselves, okay? And they just chucked it in an area where they, you know, along with the Fitbit data. It's a lot, and it's just jumbled. But I'm just putting out random thoughts at this point. We're going on 3 weeks, you know, and so that's my thought about that. My other thought is that, you know, they've looked at the pig farmer, and maybe actually, you know, maybe this person who might have known. I think they probably just got lucky with the pig farmer. But maybe they knew of him, and maybe they knew that he would be suspected, and so that's why they went in that direction. I mean, these people, you know, they're all many of them are farmers. Not that they're all farmers, not meaning to, you know, and might have known him through, even though they're in neighboring towns and they're not necessarily all of Brooklyn. You know, they may have had work relationships with and just had knowledge of this individual, Wayne Chaney, the farmer, and thought that he would end up being suspected. I don't know. I have no idea about that, but it's just a thought. But it also leads me to my next point, which is it's interesting that, you know, even in the title, because everyone's making titles, everybody is, you know, whether it's CNN, ABC, they all make clickbait titles, okay, about the body being found and stuff like this. And even here they say I mean, I'm talking about the 20-year-old girl that wasn't her, but they make a title that makes you click on the thing, but it says Iowa man says, quote, maybe I was the last person to see her, quote, to see Mollie TIbbetts. I mean, and that's meant to get you to click that title that maybe you might suspect him. And I don't suspect this man whatsoever, okay? But my point is that, you know, Wayne Chaney, and I agree the interview was weird, even though he swears up and down and they can search his property. He just won't take the lie detector. That's what I think is making people a little suspicious. But everything else, and there's plenty of people who say I wouldn't take it either. But but he says people can search his property, whatever. He's got a history and all that. My point is that I think, you know, it could be something that's completely different than what we normally would think, which is that it's a man that took her. Okay, and that's what we would think, you know, that it's some man. But maybe it's not a man. Maybe it's a woman. Okay, and you know, maybe she did go with a woman willingly, you know, because of reasons. But you know, I don't know. I mean, I could speculate, you know, that maybe she had a relationship, you know, with a woman, and she didn't want people to know that. And I'm not, you know, I'm so reluctant to say this, but we're really getting into the, you know, it's 3 weeks now, and that's why she went with this person willingly, because she didn't want that to be be exposed, and you know, and then it went from there. But again, I have no idea. It's just an idea. But I'm just saying that we all automatically assume it's a man, and it may be a strange man, you know, and maybe it's not. And that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching my videos. I really hope she comes home. I hope this is all just something that got completely blown out of control, and you know, they could just come forward and they just made a huge mistake, and just, you know, it can be fixed, you know, in that case. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.